somehow, see, liberalism is very tricky. You will begin to think you won something in this country due to the liberal agenda or the liberal, let's say, democratic, feminist, all these different intersectional thoughts that seem like that we have arrived, but really these were not. And at the same time, all these, but African-centered thought was always, it was pigeonholed even more, but they were lies. You follow what I'm saying? They were lies, and they push you down and truncate you. And in fact, what a lot of people in FBA believe is that somehow this country, in the way that it's constructed, is going to give you something to liberate you, or you're going to simulate it and simulate in it enough that somehow you're going to reach the promise. I don't know what they think they're going to believe. But you're never going to, your enemy is never going to give it to you. And I don't think they see, I think they see us as the enemy, not necessarily
they do.
Dominant, quote unquote, culture in the society. And
they do.
Go ahead.
It's the underscore of why I personally have so much of a problem with them, because they really do think that Pan-Africanism is the reason we have not advanced.
Absolutely.
So, they really do think so. And again, so they think the ideology of Pan-Africanism is why we didn't get the reparations check. They think the presence of Jamaican immigrants, Haitian immigrants, Ghanaian immigrants is why we didn't get the reparations check, or why we don't have an extra seat on the school board, or why, the Democratic Party won't put a real black person on the ticket. And it's like, no, none of, again, you're not looking at the enemy. You're looking at your own camp.
We appreciate all the FBA people stopping by. We love y'all, believe it or not.
I don't have an issue with FBAs delineating and saying, I'm proud to be this melanated individual who lives in the United States and whose family survived the transatlantic slave Holocaust, the Ma'afa. I don't have a problem with people who say that. If that's all you said, then we good. We can go break bread and get on about the business of advancing the community. But that ain't where y'all stop. Absolutely. And that's the problem.
Absolutely.
Y'all never stop there.
And what you're talking about has nothing to do with the end goal of liberation and African sovereignty. What you're doing is trying to integrate. So when I think about William Cross's Black identity model, I would imagine that FBA should have their own category. William Cross has passed on now, but assimilationist is one of the categories, and I think that they will fall in that category to some great degree, and they will also fall into that and perhaps maybe another category. They'll probably score high on those levels. But nonetheless, I'm speaking a bunch of social science, which is above their leaders' pay grade, and I don't want to bore you with all of that type of thing, because somehow we listen to unqualified people.
Shabazz, break it down with the proper perspective. So much controversy and a lot of deception. You don't know who's coming through with the light and reflection, and whose mouth is mumbling trick knowledge deceptive. Shabazz, break it down with the proper perspective. So